So we're here today at Manapara to do a pre-purchase inspection for our client that is purchasing this house, just to make sure there's no termite activity inside or outside of the house. One thing we always check, there's a sticker in the meter box to see if there's any termite protection, which they have on their piers. And the service penetrations. But there is no full perimeter. Right now we're just testing for moisture, just to see if there's any moisture in the door frames or in the walls, because termites like moisture. We also look for any discrepancies in the paint, see if there's any bubbling. That might be an indication of any termite activity. It's strange because it said on the notice there's no perimeter, but there's a perimeter right here. Perimeter barrier. Right, we always inspect air conditioning units just in case there's incorrect drainage, meaning if there's pooling next to the slab, we don't want that because that will attract termites. This here, we can't see any real pooling, but there is a bit of like fungus or mold here, which indicates that there possibly could be. So we will note that in our report. So right now we're just checking the in-grounds here. Occasionally we'll get lots of ants attacking the stations. Kind of made a little bit of a home in here. The idea of this is the termites will come and eat this bait and take it back to their nest. Once they've eaten this whole bait rod, we replace it with a new one, and after about 3 or 4, that should eliminate the colony. We've had some termite damage to this here, bait rod. Right now we've got no activity, but we'll have to replace this with a new one. That's just like fungus, basically. Occasionally that'll just grow on there. So we've removed this one here because of just a lot of mold growth, which could just be excessive water to that station. So it's going to deteriorate a lot quicker. So that's why we've removed this one here. This other one here has had heavy termite damage, no termite activity at present. So we've replaced this one here. got a rat issue. It's stemming from the neighbouring house that has chickens. So we're going to set up a few bait boxes to try and eliminate the problem. So what we're putting in here is called Contract. So it's just a poison to kill rodents, mice and rats. So the client has an issue with rats at their rear fence. The main culprit is being chickens on the next door neighbour's property. And there is also a gap between the two fences, which I feel like they'll be nesting in. And we can see there's some rodent droppings here. So the rodents have more than likely scurried underneath the bark and then came into this client's yard. There's also a small gap here where the rodents could be entering. So these are also tamper-proof stations. So the client has a dog, so they're very strong. The dog won't be able to break through these. So that's why we use these tamper-resistant bait stations. So we always check around the yards to see if there are like any holes that they've nesting into. So the bathrooms, they can generally get a lot more moisture to the door frames, especially if the shower is right next to the door frames. Just a lot of steam and whatnot can get onto these door frames and then create moisture issues, and then this door frames will need to be replaced. These ones are fine. Luckily the shower's a good metre away. We always check the shower for moisture, because the moisture will obviously attract termites, and obviously we've got a stud wall behind these tiles, so we don't want them getting into that. So in a general inspection here, if we're going to find termites, we'll generally find them in a bathroom, just because of the added moisture from the showers. Especially if there is any problems with any plumbing creating extra moisture, or bad grout and tiles, we will generally find termites more likely in a bathroom. But that's not to say there will be other places that termites will pop up.